On October 3, 2025, Diddy Combs appeared in a Manhattan federal courtroom for his sentencing hearing, following his conviction in July on 2 counts of transporting individuals to engage in prostitution. As the defense played a 12-minute video montage intended to humanize Combs, featuring footage of him engaging in community work, spending time with his children, delivering motivational speeches, and participating in charitable events, the music mogul became visibly emotional. At one point, his lawyer handed him a tissue, and Combs appeared to wipe away tears. The video showed him interacting with family, giving inspirational talks to children, and running in a fundraising marathon, among other scenes. The defense's strategy was clear: to present a narrative of redemption, community service, and personal growth as mitigation in his sentencing. Prosecutors urged the judge to impose a sentence of approximately 11 years, arguing that Combs has shown little remorse and emphasizing the seriousness of his conduct. They portrayed him as unrepentant, especially given his continued public appearances and booking of speaking engagements even while awaiting sentencing. They also requested that the court consider Combs' broader pattern of violent and coercive behavior described during the trial, even for charges of which he was ultimately acquitted. Defense's position. Combs' legal team countered that a harsher sentence would be disproportionate, asking that his punishment be capped at 14 months. They emphasized his positive community contributions, his efforts at transformation during incarceration, and his role as a father. One of his attorneys, Nicole Westmoreland, broke down in tears while defending his character, framing him as someone who has improved and contributed meaningfully. They also highlighted a 6-week course Combs conducted for fellow inmates, called Free Game with Diddy, in which he taught business and self-improvement ideas, asserting that his greatest impact lies outside prison walls. A dramatic and emotional component of the hearing came from Combs' children, who addressed the court in heartfelt statements urging leniency. Justin Combs called his father his superhero, saying he had never seen him more vulnerable. Jesse Combs, 18, said, "We may not excuse his mistakes, but he is still our dad, and we need him present in our lives." Jesse's twin sister Lila, along with other siblings, spoke of the emotional toll of losing their mother, Kim Porter, and expressed fear of losing their father too. In contrast, Combs' former girlfriend Cassandra, Cassie, Ventura submitted a statement urging the court to recognize her experience as a victim of his abuse, describing him as manipulative, power-seeking, and unsympathetic to vulnerable women. She asserted that he had no interest in changing. Moreover, a recent lawsuit filed by a former stylist accuses Combs of various forms of physical and sexual abuse, allegations he firmly denies. Legal context and uncertainty. Though Combs was acquitted of the more severe charges of sex trafficking and racketeering, the judge is not strictly bound from considering the broader array of allegations, including evidence from his trial of violent conduct. The federal sentencing guidelines suggest that a term between 5 years and 10 months to 7 years and 3 months might be typical for his convictions, depending on aggravating or mitigating factors. AP News Combs had already been in custody since September 2024, which the defense argues should offset much of any additional prison term. Moreover, just days before sentencing, the court denied Combs' effort to vacate or overturn his prostitution-related convictions. Reuters. What comes next? With both sides presenting deeply emotional, sharply contrasting character narratives and legal arguments, the judge, Arun Subramanian, faces a weighty decision. He must balance guidelines, precedent, public interest, the severity of the crimes, and the testimonies from victims and family. For Combs' fate, the question is whether his courtroom display and the mitigation evidence will carry enough weight to sway the judge from a more severe sentence, or whether the prosecution's portrayal of harm and lack of full acceptance of responsibility will prevail.